Okay, let me see. Yeah, I think I am live. Okay. So, welcome to episode 624 of the Black Brain Trust. This is the Sapio-Males Guide to the Galaxy. Taste. Yeah, one word, right? Taste. We'll get into it in just a sec. I'll let some folks come on in. And again, it's a late night one, West Coast. So, um, yeah, one of those things. I took a nap earlier after doing a bunch of work during the day. We did a live stream earlier. Me, myself, Johnny Blaze. Um, we had Cyril Badayu and Jay Shine also join us. So it was a real cool chop up on fatherhood. So that was we did that earlier, and then I did a bunch of work and then took a nap, and so now I'm up. So yeah, man, this is one of those topics that I would typically cover on um, the Sapio live streams that I did on my channel, right? But this is kind of like some of the subject matter, right? So we're going to talk about taste. If we look in the description, the applicable definition that I want to apply for kind of like the topic tonight is the ability to discern what is of good quality or of a high aesthetic standard. So let me read that again. The ability to discern what is of good quality or of a high aesthetic standard. So we'll kind of go on that premise, right? So when talking about, discerning good qualities, things like high aesthetic taste, or high aesthetic standard, that essentially means, you're not one who is moved to deal with things that are of, lower quality, essentially. Let's take a car, for example. If you, one way to check how a car is put together, how well it's put together, is to measure, oops, sorry, a little loud in my ears, is to measure the tolerances in between the panel gaps, right? So like the hood and the fender, right? You see that gap? You could take like a couple credit cards or, a couple of cards you have in your wallet and then stack them up. And usually it's to be about three, right? And you should be able to take three cards and stick it in between that gap and it fits snug, right? And then you go to the back of the car and then you see like on the other side of the car between the trunk and the rear quarter panel, stick those three cards in between there. Now, if it's really loose, okay, that means that the car is not, the tolerances are off, right? Kind of cheaply put together, right? Everything wasn't really balanced, right? So this is a high aesthetic standard when you kind of start nitpicking on the little details, but you should, right? Because you're going to pay for this. The other thing to consider also is, well, those type of things are also reflected in quality, right? Good quality. So these things go hand in hand, right? High aesthetic standard, good quality. So, um, you know, we how are we applying taste to all aspects of our life? That becomes the question. Okay. Um, let's think about all of the things that we could apply taste to, right? Let's think about all the things we could apply taste to, right? So, my daughter's on a Porsche Macan S. This is what she's settled on. This is when we get a new car. This is what she wants to get: a Porsche Macan S. She's 9. Okay, I would say, let's see here. Good quality, yes. High aesthetic standard, absolutely. High. Does she have good taste? I would say so. Um, food, obviously, you have taste buds, right? But do you like good quality ingredients, or do you just like some stuff that's just slopped on a plate, just ready to just be chowed down? Do you prefer um, you know, McDonald's burger over, you know, some 25 $30 burger, grass fed, and artisan bun and Gouda cheese and all this. What's your taste? Okay. Um, Not only is it applicable there, it's also applicable to shoot the live stream we did last Saturday, right? Watches. And there were some comments in the chat about, like, well, some of these watches are kind of expensive. They're like, man, these are out of my price range. And we retorted with, okay, but there's a lot of craftsmanship. There's a lot of, there's actual jewels being used, precious metals. So, and they're appreciating assets, right? If you want something to simply tell time, sure, okay, then yeah, we may not want to talk Tag Heuer, or we may not want to talk, you know, Oris, or we may not want to talk these brands, Grand Seiko, or what have you. We'll talk something different. However, you know, it, being aspirational items, um, good quality, high aesthetic standard, that's going to come at a premium. So there's going to be a price involved, just like cars, just like fine foods. You guys pretty much knew I was going to go here. The opposite gender, women, yes, same thing applies. Um, what's your taste in women? Or for those of the opposite gender listening in, your taste in men. I want to say, babe, my daughter's sitting in here. Hold on, babe, you can come back in when I'm finished, okay? Oh, I don't want to talk about this type of stuff around my. So okay, look, there's times when my daughter can be around, right, and I'm talking, and then there's times where I'm like, wait, is she sitting right here? And then she was, and I'm like, ah. And I was like, babe, you can come back in here later. She always knocks out my room, and I don't care, but yeah, I was like, babe, I don't know if you should be sitting in here for this. So okay, I can talk a little bit more now, a little more freely. So taste also reflects in women. As a man, yes, okay. What's your taste in women? See, the thing about it is that if one were to ask themselves that and then apply this definition, right? The ability to discern what is of good quality and of a high aesthetic standard. A lot of people would have a hard time being honest about their taste. That's like what's great about, if one is to use their mind to be intelligent about how they view things. Okay, you don't aim for lower quality, thinking you don't go buy like a used Camaro thinking that you're gonna get like a Ferrari out of it. Okay, and a lot of people just simply are not honest with their taste, or they're not honest with the fact that they have poor taste. Poor taste in men, poor taste in women, poor taste in food, poor taste in clothing, poor taste in cars, you name it, right? So taste it's applicable. It's like, do you really think about what your tastes are? critically, because I think if a lot of people did, and particularly when we're talking about like the sort of the dating and mating conversation, right? You know, it's kind of like if you ask, and this goes to both sides. You can ask both sides this question, and then I wanted to preface this, and then I want to read some quotes. So you ask people, okay, would you say you have good taste? Right? Would you say you have good taste in men, or would you have good taste in women? Right? You asking that question, right? And they'll go, yeah, I think so. And then you ask them, okay, would you say that's been reflected in the people that you've dealt with? And then they'll say like, well, yeah, because they don't want to contradict themselves, right? But then these would be the same people who then also complain, and it's like, well, you do realize it, your what you get back is a result of your sort of like your taste in life, like what it is that you like. So if you have complaints about that, that means that it's not your tastes are of low quality. People don't really complain about things of like a high taste or high quality. You know what I mean? They typically tend to be very satisfied with their purchase. They typically tend to hold on to those type of things because those type of things tend to bring value to them, whether it be cars, accessory items, watches, purses, things like that. Hell, people, you know, men, women, same thing applies. This is, we were talking about taste here. Let's see here. Before I start reading some chats, let me just check the chat out real quick. We got Sir Badayu. Salute, brother. What's going on? Jerome, what's going on, man? Jerome, you say you know how we go at it. We do? I didn't know we go at it, bro. But you might still my dude. No H. Oh, okay. I didn't know we went at it, bro. Really? Okay. Well, no, we cool, man. I didn't know we went at it. Is there anything? Is there such thing as ghetto fab? I mean, to some people, that's reflective of their taste. Now, not in my view. I don't really deal with anything ghetto fab. That's not anything that's beneficial to me. So it's not really. But I think there is such a thing as that. Yeah. JBA, what's going on, man? Welcome. Mackie, what's going on? D. Smitty said, whose tastes are the best and why? I mean, I can only speak for my own, man. And, my daughter has some exquisite taste, let me tell you. But, I usually try, I try to like apply these types of things when I'm listening to some, like if I like listen to those social media conversations, right? About relationships. And then I'll think in my head, like, well, what's your taste in men? What's your taste in women? What's your taste in men? Because I'm like, if you say all this shit about the opposite gender, I'm like, dude, you got like shitty taste. I gotta be real with you, right? That's just like every goddamn hamburger around here in this entire city sucks. And you come to find out, the only thing you do is you go to McDonald's. You just go to different McDonald's. All the burgers suck. And it's just like, well, where do you go? It's like, I go to McDonald's. And it's just like, okay, well, have you tried something else? Yeah, I went to a different McDonald's. Like, oh boy. All right. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. Let's read some quotes from Brainy Quotes. First quote: the 4 characteristics of humanism are curiosity, a free mind, belief in good taste, and belief in the human race. Sometimes we should express our gratitude for the small and simple things like the scent of the rain, the taste of your favorite food, or the sound of a loved one's voice. Well, that's taste in the food sense. Here. Love of beauty is taste. The creation of beauty is art. I have erotic, or I'm sorry, not erotic. Oops, that's the wrong quote. I have eclectic taste, and I love vintage style mixed with glamour and old world charm. So, eclectic is a type of taste, I guess you could say. I forced myself to contradict myself in order to avoid conforming to my own taste. What were we just talking about? A lot of people do this right here, or they have to do this. Force themselves to contradict themselves in order to avoid conforming to their own taste. Fashion is more about taste than money. You have to understand your body and tailor clothes to your needs. It's all about the fit. I do alterations myself. I'm quite a seamstress. It's the influence of my Hungarian mother. This is Carmen del Orifice. I'm trying to remember how to say her name. She's a fashion designer. But we were just talking again early, just a little bit ago, about taste in clothes. You know, I, I'm a I don't like, so for example, with me, I'm a fit person. I like to wear things that fit my body, right? And because of the type of body that I have, it's like that shit usually costs a lot. So it's sort of like okay, you spend the money because you want stuff that fits right, not because it's expensive. That's a stupid reason to buy it, right? You're gonna buy something because it's what you need. It just so happens to cost something that you would probably rather not pay for, but hey, you know, do what you gotta do, I suppose. Well, art is art, isn't it? Still, on the other hand, water is water, and east is east and west is west. And if you take cranberries and stew them like applesauce, they taste much more like prunes than a rhubarb. Now, you tell me, what do you know? It's Groucho Marx. Fashion and music are two great artistic forms that can be molded by the youth culture. Our taste and our passion for evolving things and our limited time on earth allows us to look at things with fresh eyes. See, that's how I kind of see it, man. It's sort of like I'm only here with so much time, right? And when I was a kid, I was really trying to see like some flying cars and shit, as an adult. So now I know it's like close to being here. I'm like, okay, well, I still got some years, man. Maybe we'll be doing like some more other shit in the next like 30 years. Lord willing, we don't burn this bitch now. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me flip back over. Let's see here. G Witty, you said I'm a sharp guy. Thanks, man. How did you acquire your taste? Um, you just interest, just interest, and then you just talk to people, man. Be open to like what other people have to like teach you. What it is that they may put you up on. It'll just kind of like expand your knowledge base and your palette. You know what I mean? So, and then I pursue interest with vigor, dude. Like, yeah, I don't really think that shit is like weird. If you have like, are gonna have hobbies and stuff, and like people don't think it's cool or something, it's like I'm not doing it for you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah. says, do you believe that taste, i.e., the ability to discern what a high aesthetic standard is also related to a person's socioeconomic status? Yeah, I think that's where the whole ghetto fab thing. I think that's where the whole ghetto fab thing comes into play, because I think when you're in even within, like, let's say you're in a lower socioeconomic status, you still want to be like the top, perceived as sort of like the top of that, right? I think that's where the ghetto fab comes in. And that just might be people have a little more money to spend. They may get the knockoff Louis or the whatever, but other people may not even try to go that far, right? So yeah, I think so. However, I think there's an intrinsic connection, right? So so as you raise in socioeconomic status, your standards should raise. I don't think what you should do is aim for high standards in a low economic status. I think what you should do is, as you work up the socioeconomic status scale, your standards, I don't want to say you should be comparable, they should actually be a little bit above. That way you're always aiming for something. Okay, so at one point you were rolling around in the beat up Mazda. Okay, then you traded the beat up Mazda in for a brand new Honda Accord. Had the Accord for like 7-8 years, but that was cool because you paid it off in like 3, and then you kept it, and then you just start stacking money, man, doing other things, getting some stuff off. Now you got a little bit more money to play with. So now it's like, well, now let me jump in a Porsche Macan S. Right? Okay, we're talking 60 in the $60,000 range, but hey, you treat yourself. You know what I mean? It's okay, because you always want to have something that keeps you pushing. What if that next purchase is, not a Macan, but like a 718 Cayman or some shit, where we just stepped it up a little bit more, but we've been also working our way up that socioeconomic status too. So there's nothing wrong. I think I don't know. I don't like to look at possessing things of a high quality as it being some sort of status symbol, because I don't get it for other people. I get things because I like them, and I think that those should be your gifts to yourself, right? It's an inner thing. It really is. It's an inner thing, man. Because it's your taste at the end of the day, and what is external to you is reflective of what's internal, like your taste, what it is that you like to consume, the things that you like to have around you, people that you like to have around you. Okay, it's all reflective. Hey, Black Torch, what's going on, man? Good evening. Everything in life is art because it's by design. Yep. Yeah, you always got to see. It's especially if you see things with those eyes. Actually, if you try to see like things with an artistic eye, then yeah, definitely. Let's see here. I've seen dope cribs in the projects and walked into $1 million homes that should have been in the projects. And the thing is, re-up, is that the projects don't have to be the projects don't actually have to be the projects, right? What proves this? Pardon me. Shit, let me get some water. You know what proves this? Gentrification. Gentrification proves this. It's like, again, this is an internal thing. This is what it amazes me that Black people don't see this. Okay, nothing actually changes when an area is gentrified. The only thing that changes is the people. That's it. See, people think when gentrification happens, it's like, okay, Those buildings that you treated like shit, they saw value in. Those streets that you threw trash on, they imagined those streets with BMWs parked on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's t- it's merely a reflection of taste. There's nothing in there's nothing intrinsically different about a quote unquote hood and some nice posh neighborhood. It's merely it's the people. It really is. You know, because like I'm taking a perfect example. You say like you've seen cribs in the projects, dope that were dope. And so this is what I mean. It doesn't cost you money to keep things looking nice, really. Like for you to just do your lawn and don't throw trash on the ground, but put it in a trash receptacle, and that's you giving a damn. That's all that is. That's just the people giving a damn about their community. People don't understand. Just simply just perpetually littering in your communities and stuff, that lowers property values by 20%, just by there being trash everywhere. That means that, like, city services and stuff have to expend more tax dollars cleaning the shit up, so it reduces property values. There's things that people intrinsically do that reflect a low taste, and then their environment reflects this, and then as the old saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So sometimes we really do have to take a critical look and critically observe our taste and question our taste. Again, our taste in food, our taste in clothes, our taste in media, our, our taste in culture, our taste in women, our taste in men. If you're a woman listening, um, all that. What kind of taste are you ingraining in your children? I told you, man. I come in. My daughter be on the computer. Another thing she was looking up: Vitamix blenders. I'm not even bullshitting you. She wants a nice blender. Like, we make smoothies, and we have a blender that makes smoothies and works. But you know what? That shit's not good enough for her. Why? Because she wants to make this very thick type of smoothie where you damn near like emulsify the shit. It's almost like an ice cream. You turn it into like almost like a sorbet almost. And she's just like, yeah, this blender is just not doing it. It's not doing the trick. We need to get a Vitamix. It needs a higher torque motor, and she's 9 years old. We need a Vitamix blender. I also like the Macan S. I like the Porsche Macan S, Dad. Yeah, man. Taste. Shit. Well, you said I can dig it. You march to the beat of your own drum. We all should. We all should, man. You know, we all should. In fact, same street, same block, only with lofts. Yep. That's how that gentrification game goes. It's not even something that's like, it's not even really rocket science, man. That's what kills me, man. It's just like, because I'm watching LA get, we basically then got X'd out of LA, black folks. And it's sad to see, because, it's California is one of those rare places, man. And there's a lot of people in all over the world that would love to live here. And so we there's oftentimes, man, like the type of shit, you know, like the gang shit, the drug shit that was going on back in the day, just all the dumb shit, man, that we engage in culturally. And it's just like, you don't realize what you have. You know, you don't value it. Like I said, man, think about how people from all the other places that where they live, and they're just like, man, they be Hollywood, they be California dreaming like an MF, and y'all just over here just like as if you're not in a place, man, to be appreciated. You know what I mean? And so other people be like, yo, I want that, man, because that's not everybody can be where they're at, and if you don't want to, they don't want to take care of it, then there's other people that would be more than happy to pay way more money to live there and take care of it. It's all reflective of, again, taste, lifestyle, modality, how we're choosing to live, what we choose to incorporate, what we choose to consume. Who we choose to mess with. Like I said, question your taste in women, for example, man. Like, would you say that you have good taste in women? Women, if you're listening, would you say you have good taste in men? I mean, like I said, when I asked the question, I'm kind of like, I don't know. If I'm to listen to all of the complaints, I'm like, a lot of you just have poor taste. Yeah, that's what's going on here. A lot of people have poor taste, or they have they have good taste in some areas, poor taste in others. It's not across the board, right? Like it's not even keeled. You know, everything's not comparable. You know what I mean? Tastes aren't compatible. You know, you have poor taste in dudes, but you have high taste in lifestyle, and then can't you can't you can't get the dude, the taste in the dude that you have to match the lifestyle thing. And so that's the challenge that women are always dealing with. Dudes, they really just like the physical aspects of a woman, don't give a damn about her personality. Don't really care about personality, right? Could care less if she has any intelligence. I've had a bunch of dudes in that manosphere space, right? In that manosphere space, sit up there and argue with me about like, like intelligence in a woman doesn't really matter, or you don't prefer, you really don't. I don't know what the hell the argument was, but it was pretty stupid to oppose the notion of the idea that a man should prefer a higher intelligence in a woman. I just thought that I was just kind of scratching my head as to like, so basically you're shaming me for having like a higher sort of taste or standard for the type of woman I like to deal with. Oh, let's see. I go back to that definition. The ability to discern what is of good quality and of high aesthetic standard. So I think good quality, let's just say, so if we were to apply this to a woman, right? Good quality and high aesthetic standard go hand in hand. So now you don't have to argue with me the virtues of whether, well, does sapiosexual apply to a woman that's not attractive? Da, 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 da. I'm like, it's irrelevant. What you're asking me is irrelevant. It's stupid, and it's it's indicative of someone who thinks of things because they employ a low taste. They have a low taste quotient. You know what I mean? But if you could, just by definition alone, if you have good taste, you shouldn't be complaining. By the mere definition of taste, if you have good taste, you should have no complaints. But then again, that's why things, when you pursue things, you have good taste. Those things typically are going to be of value. Yeah, D. Smitty said your tastes are highly questionable for sure. We get money and go wife a whoa, 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 whoa. A little loud in my ear. Little loud in my ear. That's better. Okay. Wait a minute. Because I actually had something else queued up. There we go. So yeah. Let's see here. Wait, I was getting back to. Let's see. Yeah, we get money, go wife a stripper chick. For the life of me, this is what I mean. I'd be like, yo, man, where's Cat? Like, it's like you guys got like poor taste in women, man. I mean, anytime I'm hearing like some dude wifing up an IG chick, I'm like, oh god, poor taste, poor taste, poor taste. Yeah, it's yeah, and then like I said, it's the flip, it's the flip, it's the flip side too. All these women are seemingly they all are seemingly in some weird sort of situation where they can't seem to find a quote unquote good man. I don't know. Perhaps it has something to do with your poor taste. Hmm? I, I don't know. I don't know. I think it. I don't know. I think that might actually be the case. Hmm. I think so. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So, pardon me. Hold on. Get some water. You see. So you ever see young hood dudes with money? Yeah. Athletes, rappers. Oh my god, man. Terrible. Terrible. Um. Yeah, man. That's or it's the same thing. You ever see young chicks that seemingly have like their look together. Like they'll go and just like go get tats that run all up their neck and shit all down their arms and just you know oh yeah, let me stick this piece of metal like right here in this part of my face, and then I'll just throw on like it's like, oh my god. Oof, oof. Or not even that. Just like I said, they can totally look like they have it all together, but then just poor taste in men. And then it's just like, there's no good men. Then I go, would you say you have good taste in men? And then they go, you hear that silence? That's them thinking about the question. Flip the question around. Ask a dude, would you say you have good taste in women, given all your complaints? Yeah, that silence was them thinking about the question. I mean, people like oftentimes and look, I'm guilty of this too, but I would say for me, it has more to do with, you know, me driving myself crazy with my own pursuits, right? But people are just like oftentimes their own worst enemy, right? They literally are the cause of their own problem. Knowingly or unknowingly, I don't know, but that's where again, asking yourself the question of like, do I have poor taste in women? Or if you're a woman, do I have poor taste in men? And then be honest about it. Think about all the chicks you've been with or dudes you've been with. Consider why it is you're single now. Think about whether or not you spend a lot of time on social media talking about how bad the opposite sex is. And then go back to that question and ask yourself, do I have poor taste in women? Do I have poor taste in men? Does that clunker in your driveway keep breaking down? Ask yourself, why do I always buy shit cars? Do I, do I have poor taste in my mode of transportation? I ask myself this question. Well, I have the answer to it, but I don't like to spend a lot of money on like phones and then things like headphones, right? Anything that has to do with a phone, that has phone in it, headphone or cell phone. Okay, those two, I don't like to spend a lot of money on them because they break a lot. Um, I don't know why, but they do. But then I don't know if that's intrinsically because I don't spend a lot of money on them, or if it's because I do shit to break them, which would then make sense for me not wanting to spend a lot of money on them because I always break them. So I really don't know. I'm trying to fight my way out of this loop. So I'm not perfect either. Okay. There you go, D Smitty. That was it right there, man. Um, Devices like headphones and smartphones. I have poor taste in those. My daughter tells me all the time, I need you to get an iPhone or I'm going to get you a Samsung or something. There she goes. You hear her? That was her right there. And she said, yes. Yeah, like stressing it to me. Yes, I need you to get a new phone. That phone you have is shit. Headphones? I don't know, man. They blow out all the time. I'll get headphones and then I'll have no longer than like a week or two. These are some gaming headphones that I got, not the ones I'm using. These are some new ones. The other ones that I got them about right around Christmas time, actually. A little bit before Christmas time, but right around Christmas time. Dude, they lasted me about 3 fucking weeks. The right ear thing doesn't work. Now, a friend of mine has a theory. She thinks that there's something planted in my head, and that's what's causing all of this. But whatever the case, man, I don't know. They weren't Beats, so I didn't spend the money. But then I'd be pissed off I spent the money, and the same thing happened to the damn Beats that happens to all this other shit that I get. Like I said, I got to break out of this loop, man. We all have things we have to work on in our lives. I'm talking about high income people maintaining low social status. I don't still acting ghetto but making millions. Mm, I don't know what to say to that, man. I really don't. Black men accomplished by professional and high intellect careers tend to choose better wives. I've seen. I'd like to hang my hat on that one, Kai, and say that I did. Um, and I would like to say that, it only took like one one time. Well, two times. Okay, we'll say two times. Um, well, one time it was like long term, and then the other time it was kind of short. It was like, whoa, okay, she's crazy. All right, that didn't last long. But um, yeah, the whole tasting, it was sort of like, okay, personality, intelligence, ability to apply common sense, interest, all those things. Okay, I really didn't know um, how much of that was important until like that first relationship I really got into. That's what I mean. After that, and then the next thing, that's another live stream altogether, right? I don't talk about the S word too much with the E and then the X at the end, but that was some other shit. So that might be one of those rare live streams now where I might, or maybe not. I don't even. Maybe I shouldn't have to even go there. Just take it for what I just said. Yeah, we'll just do that. Um, but yeah, after that, your standards raise. It's just like I said, just like the socioeconomic thing, right? So even from a relationship thing, like, okay, you get a taste of something bad, man, you should never want to go back to that restaurant ever again. You know what I mean? You go there and you just had a terrible experience. The food sucked. You don't want to go back there. You go on Yelp and be like, dude, this place sucked. Okay. So same thing with your choices in the opposite gender, man. Really, you shouldn't want to go back. This is what, like I said, I'm like, wow, you just have poor taste. That's what that is. Who willingly subjects themselves to like just some shit that they don't like? Like, I do not eat like hot dogs and shit like that, right? Don't ask me to go to Wiener Schnitzel all the time, like consistently. Every time, like I'm thinking I'm hungry, right? I'm just gonna go and deal with the thing that I do not like. Just makes no sense sometimes. So it's probably because the couples in the working environment are at a certain level. No one wants a spouse who's not at the social level they move around. Um, what I'm always hearing, what I'm always hearing, I'm always hearing that like dudes don't have a problem going like lower or dating lower, right? But you know, dudes don't have a problem dating lower, but see, I don't know about that. That's the thing, man. It really kind of depends. I would say that for the more sensible people, yeah, that's totally the case. But like I said, a lot of people seem to not be happy, and they seem to be single, and they seem to have a lot of complaints about the opposite gender. And like I said, I think that's reflected in their taste. I really do. The corporate Christmas party is when the tattoos on women become a real topic. Oh, yeah, right. Because if you guys have had a couple of of the eggnog with a little bit of rum, they start wanting to show you said tattoos. That's when it becomes a sticky situation as well as a real topic. Yeah, it becomes a real topic of discussion, and then we start to get into that sticky situation area where it's like, oh, I have a tattoo, and there's always this guy they've been eyeing. You want to see? It's right here, and then she starts pulling the little um dressy do thing down, like like where her chest is. Yeah, you see this tattoo, and it's like in kanji script, like in Japanese or something. You know what it means? It means serenity, or something. And he's just like, "Oh, really?" And then next thing you know, they're in the copier room. Okay, I'm sorry. I just totally digressed. You said, would you ever move from Los Angeles or California? I have before, man. I've lived in Arizona. Well, I have a lot of family there. Um, like I have a lot of family there. So I've lived in Arizona, and I've lived in Illinois, in Chicago for a few years. So would I ever move? Ah, I don't know, man. Like, okay, maybe I loved Arizona, and it's right by California, so I think I could do Arizona again. But I don't like the feeling of being landlocked, dude. I like the water. I like the water just being close by. I don't like the feeling of being landlocked. It's kind of weird. That's why I was able to deal. I was able to deal with. Well, I was able to deal with Illinois somewhat because you had the lake, right? You had the lake there, so it was pretty big. So it was just the lake was just to the east of you, and when you're in California, you're used to the water being to the west of you. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe see my plan, man. Ultimately, is what I want to do, and I don't know how feasible this type of thing is now with this whole post-COVID thing. But I wanted to kind of just like have my base, like my home, be here. But my daughter and I, like, we just kind of travel around because I wanted to like really do some serious racing. And so, like, if we're going places, I'm going there for an event, and then we kind of hang out there for a little bit, come back. Then let's just say next month there's going to be a race in shit, I don't know, Hungary or something, right? So we shoot off and we go to Hungary, and then maybe a month and a half from there, there's a race in, like, I don't know, France or some shit. We go there, or we go just, I don't know, wherever, man. That was really just what it was. It was just kind of like, kind of have a base of operations where I like chilling, and then kind of just travel around, and have a and have a business and a interest reason for doing so. So it kind of pays for itself. It's kind of, and you got to work to get to that point, man, where it's just not something you just kind of just do it. You gotta, it's a grind, man. It's a grind, you know. And when I lost my wife, man, I took a blow, dude. And it wasn't even like I took a blow when she passed. It was like when I found out she had cancer. My daughter was like 3 months old. So we talking shit. This is early 2012, man. So I would say that right there, boom, that's when I took that first gut punch, dude, and everything stopped. So all that shit, man, I was doing in the 2000s and then going into 2010s and shit, coming up out of that whole mess of the housing crisis and all that shit, and we started making moves. All that work we put in and really started hitting in like 2009, 2010, 2011. My daughter was born, and then at the beginning of 2012, man, cancer hit my lady, and then I dropped everything. Right, like boom, right then there, it all stopped, dude, literally. And I was trying to like just kind of do some label stuff from Chicago while we were in Illinois, while my wife was getting treated and everything. it was really hard for me to focus on it and grow it out and try to do a lot of things when I had like literally my worst fear was like in front of my face, right? And I'm sitting over here really faced with the prospect of like, damn, dude, like you could actually lose her, dude, and be like I couldn't imagine, dude. It was hard for me to wrap my head like around the possibility. Like at the time, dude, I'd be like holding my daughter, man. She's like 5 months old and shit, and my wife's kind of she's sitting there, man, going through her first round of chemo, and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? like, like I'm sitting here just like, yo, this is real right now. Like, this is real, huh? So, you know, yeah, dude. Shit, man. Sometimes just you know that life happens like that, and then like I said, man, it puts you in a different place, and then as a result of that, you'll find that everything about you is different. Everything's changed, right? And so that means that again, your tastes, your interests, all that shit changes. For me, man, there's so many valuable lessons I learned going through that. And so it's like I don't like see. Okay, so for like the last couple weeks, man, like I said, man, my daughter's been on this shit because I'm trying to get a new whip here. Towards the end of the month or February. It's not going to be the Porsche Macan S. That I got a little ways to go to get to that right now. But when she's talking about like when she's looking at cars, she's only looking at expensive shit. And it's not like I'm that's her. Me, I'm looking at like, okay, here's what my budget is. So here's what I need. I need a small SUV. I need to be able to haul some stuff around. Boo, 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 right? So in her head, she goes, "Oh, small SUV, Porsche Macan S." you know. So, but that right there actually is like a kick in the ass for me. Right? It's a kick in the ass for me. It's something for me to do because ultimately I'm doing all this for her, right? In terms of when I got to leave it to somebody, and I have a child to leave it to. So this is who I'm doing this for, right? And so I'm actually appreciative that my 9-year-old daughter has expensive tastes. I really actually I am because it's the kick in my ass. Not look, if I'm single, I'm gonna just do me, but I'm just gonna do me on my own accord. I'm just gonna do me, right? But it's a little bit different, man. When you got a little one here, man, she's growing. You got a child, they're growing up, and you know. Let me check the comments. I'm kind of just rambling a little bit. Let me see here. Move to the Mile High City. My daughter was asking me about Colorado. She asked me, "Would you move to Colorado?" It's the snow, man. There was snow in Chicago, dude. I remember back in 2013. It was snowing in May. Okay, that was the first time I was just like when I felt like this type of depression, and it was a depression because it was almost as if it's like I wasn't getting enough vitamin D. Because I'm like, yo, I don't ever remember not getting heat and sunlight from the sun at this time of the year, man. Something's going on with me. And I remember going to work one day, and it was snowing in May, and I said, "This I can't do this. No, I go home and then I go on to Facebook, and there's people at the beach, and I'm like, no, So yeah, man, snow. I can do it in small doses, man. Yeah, what up? Oh, yeah, dude. My daughter's into motorsports, dude. Yeah, no, like she's into whips, man, like big time. But like nice shit, dude. Like she likes the Mercedes C class. She's pretty much all. She's a Porsche chick. The Porsche chick, Tesla chick. Because we were looking at the Model Y. Now, Model Y, I think is coming in at like about 42. I think the one that she was pricing was like 42, 43. And I'm like, okay, if I can get some shit popped off in Q1, baby, I was like, that might be doable. But then she got on the Macan, and I was like, whoa, okay, that's a whole $20,000 more, babe. All right, yeah. But no, she'll sit up and watch like sim racing with me. I've actually, so I have some videos on my channel of me training her in karting, but she'll get in my sim rig. If I put some pillows on the seat, she can sit up. She can drive, dude. She can drive in my sim rig. I don't put it on where she has to actually shift the gears. I put an automatic transmission, but I put the ideal line down and just have her drive it. Yeah, she can drive. Yeah, dude, totally, man. Totally in the motorsport. Said Denver has a black mayor. It seems like it's a Latino power base, 20%. Yeah, 5% black. Denver's still a good place for black to build a career in business. I don't. That's a good question. I don't really know. NC worker said good morning. Yeah. It's even at the corporate holidays, it's the last thing to be marketing won't have a visible tattoo if she has one, but lower tier clerical babes have visible tattoos. Oh yeah, yeah, and it'll be hard for them to get up anywhere with that. That's why we talk again, man. Poor taste, dude. Like go and just do that type of shit, and then it's just like you think you want to then force your way. Accept me. It's like, well, it's like you're the one who put tattoos on your knuckles, okay? Pardon us if we don't want our CFO that has love on one set of knuckles on one hand and then hate on the yeah. So yeah, we should have thought about that. Yeah, and I got some DiBiase playing in the background, man. Salute to the homie. I remember car notes were 60 months. Now they're max, and now they're 96. Oh yeah, man. They gotta do whatever they gotta do to sell cars nowadays, man. Shoot, you can go in, put down payment, and then they'll say, don't worry about the first 3 months. We'll put it on the back end. Go ahead and just take the car, and then you don't have to make a payment for 3 months. Then start paying. Yeah, that's how they're trying to sell cars now, man. Because they gotta sell cars. Nobody's buying them. Okay, you said you're a Denver native. Okay. Okay, Aurora. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys have to say about taste and what have you? I guess I can drop the link here. What I do need to do is step away to use the little boy's room. Speak on it, Uncle Snoop. We gotta still be who we is, even if the record sales don't depict that, because that ain't what it's about. I would rather not have a million record sales and have my credibility as far as being a real nigga for what I do instead of getting a record sale based off. Speak on it, Unc. In 3 years from now, I can't perform that song because it ain't hot no. Yeah, you're right. Did you know not even 3 years, 3 weeks? Some of these niggas ain't even lasted 3 weeks. Like, right now, you need a good record and a cold hashtag, nigga. Straight up. You feel me? Yeah, so it's always gonna be something new. When a person decides to be themselves, they offer something no one else can do.
Yeah, because once you be you, who can be you but you? All right. That's what's wrong right now. Everybody trying to rap the same style. Was the I don't know who created it. It was Future or Migos, but all the niggas sound the same.
I'm sorry, man. I had to let that shit play out.
Trying to do that shit. I'm like, man, cut this shit off. What the fuck am I out here doing, nigga? I don't rap like that.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, man. I had to let that shit rock out real quick. I love that shit. I forgot Snoop. He was on. I'm trying to remember what that was on. I think I was on his podcast like some years back. Hold up. All right, hold up a second. All right, I'm gonna step away. I'll be right back.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all can chop my fingers off, but y'all can tell me any artist or crew out there that can tell something. Now think about it. You know what I'm saying? I know you got your favorites. You know what I'm saying? I know you got all your favorites or whatever. But when you want to really put on a lyrical test and a beat test or whatever, we'll take them. It ain't nothing to us. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, it's like eating breakfast, man.
I'm trying to figure out, yo, when you doing your shit, how do you, like, in your mind, what you got, master puzzle, like, you just piece it together, or what? How?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The green llama
Yeah. Yo. Chillin' with the shotty. Yeah. Yo. Chillin' with the shotty.
Yo, when I walked through, I saw my man Shorty out there pumping. Shorty was like 12 going on 20. A real loser type nigga, you know? No hope for the future at all. To him, it just wasn't realistic that he was ever going to make it out the projects. And he was right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that. Dallas is the New York of the South. No, well, really? New York of the South? Okay. Well, Austin is becoming the Bay Area of Texas. That doesn't really make sense, but or Silicon Valley. That's what I mean. Because Silicon Valley is in the Bay Area. Austin is coming to Silicon Valley of Texas, or it is. It's just becoming more of it because Silicon Valley is leaving California, going there. So here's what we'll do, because I don't know. I guess I'll go ahead and shut it down. I'm not gonna be able to get to the track tomorrow because we switched. We're gonna be out at Willow Springs tomorrow, so I think my buddy Quinn is gonna go. Okay, the team's going. I think he's going. I'm not going because that's an hour and 15 minutes in the opposite direction of where I was gonna go tomorrow, and I wasn't planning for that because I got some other stuff I gotta do. And the other track was only like 15 minutes away. So yeah, um, monkey wrench thrown in, not happening. So I won't be doing that content. So instead, I think I'm gonna do some sim stuff tomorrow morning. I think we'll do some sim practice. We'll do some sim practice. So yeah, we'll do that, man. I'll go ahead and shut it down. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this little chop up on, you know, taste. Let's think about, man. Let's think about our taste, man. Our taste in things, man. You know what I'm saying? Our taste in fill in the blank. Ask yourself, do I have good taste in fill in the blank? And be honest with yourself. You too, ladies. You might be watching, or you may not be. I don't know, but it applies to you too. All right, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Y'all have a good evening, man. And yeah, man, I'll check you guys out tomorrow in the AM. Peace.